I was watching one of those TV shows where they show YouTube clips of people doing stupid things. I kind of enjoy those because they're mindless and it lets me do other things while I got the TV running, which is mostly what TV is to me anyway, it's mindless. So, and I occasionally look up, and this time I happened to look up and see this, and I actually used my DVR to go back and look at it again and again. This guy was on a miniature motorcycle, you know, one of those little tiny off-road with the tires this tall, and he was going along on the dirt, and he got to this miniature cliff, if you will, and he launched off the cliff. Now the problem was, it was like 20 feet down, just some dirt. Not hard packed, it'd been churned up by something, so it was a little bit soft. But falling from 20 feet is gonna hurt. And when he jumped at an angle. Now there was earth over there, and there was earth over here, but in between there's nothing. He jumped at an angle. He didn't stand a chance of getting to the other side. It was obvious he's going to crash before he ever took off. And the guy running the show says, "What's the point of this?" And my first reaction was, I know a lot of people whose lives are just like that. Pointless. And as soon as I thought that, I wasn't sure if I was thinking that was funny or sad. I think at first I thought it was funny that I knew so many people whose lives were pointless. And then it kind of made me a little sad that I would think that about my friends. And that's when I thought, you know, I should be teaching a sermon about what's the point. And no, this sermon isn't about jumping motorcycles off from cliffs, okay? I've done that, okay? I did that. That was stupid. I jumped a motorcycle off a cliff into a river so I could experience what it felt like to fly, okay? You know,
great till gravity takes it.
Yeah, it probably hurt more hitting the water.
I was going to say, at least you're landing in the water and not on the ground.
No, I think the water hurt more than the ground because I was about 75 feet down to the water. It was like concrete. But what was the point of that? Well, it was to see what it felt like to fly. Okay, it was back in the days when Evel Knievel was every boy's hero. But I'm not going to talk about jumping off of cliffs anymore. But have you ever gotten that feeling like, what's the point? I'm never going to succeed at this. Well, sure, we all have. We all have. We get that feeling of what's the point? Some of us get it more often than others. It's just the way life goes. Now, in case you haven't had time to stop and think about it because I've been talking, usually I preach at spectators and say, get off your butts and do something. I'm not preaching at them today. I'm preaching at the people that are already off their butts and doing something. Okay? You know, have you ever heard somebody say, and now I know that I have never, ever, never done this. No way. Got both fingers crossed. This one doesn't cross very good. I broke it the wrong way. Don't just sit there, do something, anything. Well, that would really lead me to say, what's the point then? If you're going to do just anything, what's the point? So, it should not surprise anybody that's used to hearing me preach to say you need to make the number one point in your life, if you're a Christian, of spreading the gospel. That should be every Christian's number one priority. I hear preachers and other people say, well, not everyone is cut out to be an evangelist. On a bad day, I call those people liars. On a good day, I just say they don't understand the Bible. Now, I understand we're not all cut out to be the same kind of evangelist.
You mean we're not all Billy Graham?
We are not all Billy Grahams. We are not all David Wilkersons, to quote somebody from the 60s during Billy Graham's heyday. David Wilkerson went to inner city New York, even though he was from rural area. And he went to inner city. He was a fool. And God used him for great things. We're not all cut out to be a Velcro. We're not all cut out to be trouble. But we can all be an evangelist in our own way. Now here's the thing. It isn't just saying, I'm going to be an evangelist when the opportunity presents itself. That ain't going to cut it, people. That's still pointless. Do you get what I'm saying? That's like jumping off a cliff with no chance to get to the other side. I'll be an evangelist when I get a chance. I don't buy into that. You want to be a real life follower of Jesus, you want to be a true disciple, then you got to make a plan. Sure, I witness wherever I go. But I have a specific group of people that I've targeted. And I've looked for places where those people congregate. And I have prepared and prepared and prepared, even years before I knew this was going to be my mission. And then I practiced and practiced and rehearsed and practiced some more. So then I'm gonna quit real short today. What's the point of your life? Obedience to God? He said we're to share the gospel. He didn't say if you feel like it or if it's convenient. He said share the gospel. So I got 3 questions to ask you. Where are you going to do that? To whom are you going to go and share with? What people? You know, and I'll hold the 3rd question for just a moment. If we say the people of my life, that doesn't cut it.
Everyone.
It doesn't cut it to say everyone. Because if you're going to prepare and plan, you have to prepare and plan differently to minister to a banker or an insurance agent than you do to a cowboy. You have to prepare differently for a trucker than you do for a biker. You have to prepare differently for a young mother of 3 that homeschools them than you prepare for a business executive who's on an airplane 3 days out of the week traveling all over the country. So to whom are you going to go? And then the 3rd question is, are you prepared and ready? And that's the point.